Good morning from the city of Sarajevo in Bosnia, and we're here for a day trip. And right now we're standing on the Latin Bridge, where history says that the Archduke of Austria was gunned down on this bridge, which was the cause of World War I. Today we're going to give you a little walking tour of the city and show you some of the highlights, and hopefully you'll enjoy. And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do.
And as always, we're bringing you along.
These buildings and the architecture from back in the day are just incredible. We need to show you something. This building right here, look what they got on top. Probably going to need to get across the river to the other side to get a better perspective. We'll see. This city has electric cable cars throughout. So if you're here and you're adventurous and want to figure out the routes, it's probably an easy way to get around. Just down the street from that bridge, we have arrived at the Emperor's Mosque. And even though it's cloudy today, it's still beautiful looking. To note, once again, the temperature in Sarajevo has dropped. It's in the mid-50s, so 48 degrees?
Yeah.
Okay, newly noted, it's 48 degrees. Jeannie has put on the fleece. I put on the hoodie, and we are trying our best to stay warm. Onward to City Hall, which is about 2 blocks that way on the left. I'm not positive this footage will pick it up, but right up there is the cable car that brings you to the top of the mountain if you don't feel like hiking for the view. Today there won't be a view, so there's no point for us to go up there because of the clouds. But of note, you have Untitled Mosque right there, and up there on the hill, Jeannie, what is that called?
Sforzo's house.
Sforzo's house. And then one of the most picturesque parts of Sarajevo that's often seen in travel videos is City Hall. Hopefully this gives you a better view of the Sforzo house up there on that hill. Another side view of City Hall. Here's another view from the other side of the river of Inakuka. And as always, you know we're probably pronouncing these wrong, but we're doing the best we can. One last thing to point out is to the right of the Sforzo house is a fort, and I believe it's called the Yellow Fortress. Way up there on the hill. I hope that this footage actually picks it up. We have reached what I believe is the town square.
And the fountain.
And the fountain. And they do say that it is completely safe to drink from it. Jeannie, right.
They're not afraid. You can walk right through them.
Right. They just move out of the way.
Yes. Serbili Fountain. Serbili Fountain. Serbili.
And again, it's noted that you can actually drink this water. It's so clean, coming out of the mountains. Which I am actually going to pass on today.
Oh, no way. It's supposed to be the fountain of youth.
And once again, we are now on another walking street. One of our favorite things to do, just wander around. Right here is the Ghazi Mosque. There's some other words that go with it, but I'm really not positive how to pronounce it. Do you know how to pronounce that mosque?
That's not Ghazi Mosque.
What is this mosque?
This is the oldest mosque on Bosnia.
Okay.
Ghazi Mosque is down there, 50 meters on the left.
Do you know the name of this mosque?
That's the Charshia Mosque.
Charshia Mosque.
I said Ghazi.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's this one.
No, that's down there.
That's not this one?
Yeah, that's down there. About 50 meters on the left.
Ah.
This is the Charshia Mosque.
That's the most popular mosque.
Thank you very, very much. What's your name? Admia. Are you okay being on YouTube? Okay, we'll give you our site, and in about 2 weeks you'll see yourself. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you for visiting Sarajevo.
We want to introduce you to Daria, Jeannie's new friend from Russia, and she actually has a travel channel as well. And what is it? What's your channel called?
Daria Step.
Daria Step.
Yeah, it's like the shortened version of my name, Daria Stepanova.
Okay, and we'll link her travel channel at the bottom of this video so that you can actually check out hers as well.
Sure, that's great, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Daria Step.
And what part of Russia are you from?
Moscow.
Moscow. And are you traveling alone?
That's me. Yes, so it's actually was really spontaneous decision that I was like making content about Russia, and I really wanted to try to live in Europe because I lived already in the past where I was studying in Austria and England. And then it was super spontaneous decision. I just decided to see which countries are open for Russians. I saw Bosnia and Herzegovina, I knew nothing about it.
Right.
And the same day I booked the apartment for a month here.
Uh-huh.
And here I am for 82 days.
82 days now.
2.
Oh, 2 days.
2 days.
In
yeah.
Sarajevo. And are you traveling to other parts as well?
Well, I'm planning to stay in Sarajevo most of the time since I'm working remotely, but I'm gonna show around, I hope so. And
Okay.
then maybe I'll go to Germany and Portugal and return to Christmas.
We're on our way to Portugal in 2 days.
Oh, you're going to Portugal?
We
Is
are.
it open now for tourists?
Yes.
That's so cool.
We're going to cut it here, and we'll pick it up as we start moving along. She was a very courageous traveler, traveling from Russia all alone and enjoying life during the pandemic. This is the famous Copper Street, and lucky for us, there's like nobody on it right now. Unfortunately, I have to do handheld here, but if you wanted any type of handcrafted copper item or metal item, this is the street to get it in. Many Bosnian and Turkish coffee sets here.
Good, how are you?
Some very beautiful work we're seeing. Handcrafted work.
Hello.
There you have it. You just went down Copper Street.
They make these airplanes out of bullets.
Mm-hmm. Jeannie and I stopped for some traditional Bosnian coffee. It comes in this little coffee pot, and they give you some sugar cubes, glass of water. I thought I might have read where you put a little bite of the sugar in your mouth and then you drink a sip of coffee with it. But we'll try it both ways.
The cat jumped up as John was eating his sandwich,
Smoked salmon sandwich.
the smoked salmon sandwich, and he wants some.
And we have arrived at the Ghazi Mosque. Okay, so the Ghazi Beg's Mosque. I know I'm not pronouncing it right, but at least you can see how it's spelled. Here's a beautiful fountain. And I don't think we're going inside, but we can certainly show you the front of this. Let me go up here. We'll start here. And then we'll bring it in to the front door.
La tradición también, ese trabajo, él se llama Mubeki, el hombre que hace eso. Sí, tiene.
It says open for tourists, 9 to 12 and 1400 to 1600.
Sí, que tiene ese trabajo también se pasa por tener.
I'm pretty sure they're pretty strict with taking your shoes off, washing your hands and feet, things like that that we're not accustomed to. Take a quick look at the side.
Ahora vamos a ver este baño público que aún existe.
And we'll just take a quick look around the back and see if there's anything notable. This is where, if you wanted to go inside, this is where you would enter. You would take your shoes off. Can you go in?
Yes, please, but
Take-
you have to
Take your shoes off
go to the info first, okay?
and buy a ticket?
Yes, please.
Okay. And take your shoes off and that's it?
Yes, please. Yes.
And that's all? Okay.
You don't have to because you're a man.
See, the drinking water, it is drinking water. I just saw a lady fill up her bottle. So there's no problem drinking the water. And we will continue on this way. Jeannie's in a good mood today. She's actually even letting me do hand holding. Here's another old mosque. We're not quite sure the name of this one.
Farhad Beg.
There you have it. I don't need Google. Jeannie knows everything.
No, it's the Farhad Mosque.
The what?
Farhad Farhad.
There you go.
Farhadja.
Can't pronounce it, but that's how you spell it.
Farhadja. That's it. That's how they say yeah.
A lot of the buildings that did make it through the war are absolutely architecturally spectacular. We have reached the Sacred Heart Cathedral, and it is indeed impressive, and we can go inside.
To serve.
I've seen some pictures of this before, and it's pretty impressive. Very dark in here, so I'm glad I switched to the Mini. We're gonna have to go quiet now. We got yelled at for doing video. Apparently there's no video here. There is actually a sign right here, so small you wouldn't even know it. That said, that's the inside. The guy was so loud, the nun came running out to tell him to be quiet. Here's the other side of the cathedral. Wanted to show you this, shall we call it a triangle building? Look at the beautiful architecture. And to note, this is just incredible right here. Probably should have been using the Mini 12 throughout this whole Sarajevo tour since there's no wind. And the quality is just so much better than the GoPro. At least we got it going now. Not quite sure what this, we'll walk in. Looks like it might just be a shopping, an old building that's been converted into some type of shopping. We'll take a quick look.
A whole market hall. Is that what you wanted them that were on your list?
It is the market hall. We'll take a quick look through it. Looks like they have some interesting Bosnian items. If you like smoked meats, they got them. I wish you could smell what we're smelling here with these smoked meats.
Without, it's a baby beef suju. And you have this.
This is the city market. Okay. Jeannie has pinpointed it. fresh cheeses.
Oko pola kili. Prijatno.
Chicken parts.
That's chicken livers.
And again, fresh cheeses here.
Imam polavce, tako, četvrtine.
The amount of smoked meat in here is astounding. And again, the smell of it, just wonderful. Thank you. And there you have it. That's your city market. Here's our army. If you'd like to stay in the city, here's an option right here, the Hotel Heko Deluxe. I am not positive about the parking situation for a lot of these places. We opted to stay on just on the outskirts of the old town because of parking, and we have a car, obviously. So we're trying to make our way now towards the Eternal Flame. Again, the buildings that did survive the bombings are incredibly architecturally beautiful. And we have now arrived at the monument of the Eternal Flame. The Eternal Flame. Represent. There's some stairs right there. I should go show Jeannie. We love doing stairs. Throughout our trip through Europe, we've brought you through many, many cathedrals and churches, and now we've shown you mosques. What we haven't been able to find up until now is a synagogue, and in Sarajevo there is one, and this is it. And we're about to bring you through. And if we can get inside the synagogue, we're going to be showing you it. And it looks like we can go in right through here. This will be our tour guide, Ado. He'll give us a brief explanation of the museum.
Okay.
First of all, is it also a synagogue?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the oldest synagogue in Bosnia and one of the oldest in the Balkans. It was built in 1581 in the 16th century, only 15 years after the Spanish Jews came to Sarajevo, Sephards. And until the Second World War it functioned as a synagogue. 4 days after the Kingdom of Yugoslavia collapsed in 1941, German Nazis came here. They stole everything, including the library, which contained about 7,000 rare books, and they converted synagogue to be a camp for prisoners, mainly Jewish prisoners. During the same war, the German Wehrmacht, German army, used this place as a storage for their weapons. After the Second World War, since Jewish community suffered enormously, about 85% of Bosnian Jews died during the Holocaust. That is about 12,000 people. Community decided to transfer synagogue to the Museum of Sarajevo, and in 1966 a permanent exhibition was set up in this place, and this part here where you're currently standing was also added. Well, this is an original structure. Today synagogue is in use only twice a year, during the Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year and Yom Kippur. For every other purposes there is another synagogue across the river, which is Ashkenazi Synagogue, and unfortunately it's closed for public due to COVID, but they also have a museum, and it is also the seat of the Jewish community in our country. Beside this religious part, starting from your left and right and upstairs, you have 3 separate collections dedicated to show you various segments of these 2 communities in Bosnia, Ashkenazi and Sephardic. The first one is called The Religious Life, and down there you have also a copy of the Haggadah. Well, the original is kept in the National Museum, and if you want to see it, you need to pay. You need to call them, you need to pay additionally, and they need to provide you a date. On the first floor you have the second exhibition called Daily Life, which contains personal items of Isak Samokovlja. He is one of the Bosnian most famous writer, Daniel Ozmo, a painter, Marcel Schneider, philosopher, and so on. And on the second floor you have the third exhibition called Holocaust and the Partisan Resistance Movement. It shows you some parts of the Second World War.
So in here,
just to mention that you need a permit from the director if you want to record the auditorium. So.
okay.
You can record for yourself, but when it comes to explaining and everything else,
Yes,
I cannot do it on my own.
I understand.
I mean, I don't want to how would I say? I understand that you want to have nice memories from
Yes.
Sarajevo and everything else, but these are the rules that I have to follow, unfortunately.
So this is the synagogue,
Yes.
and it holds how many people? Approximately.
Maybe about 50 can sit,
Right.
while standing it can contain about maybe, I don't know, 300, 400.
And I imagine the Torah is right
Yes.
back there,
Yes.
locked away safely.
Yes,
Very.
and it is forbidden to touch or take
Oh,
pictures
of
of
course.
it.
I understand.
So,
I'm well familiar with that.
of the record I can show you.
Yes.
But without camera and everything.
Okay. So we'll take another little look around here at some of the artifacts.
These are some of the oldest artifacts that are preserved in this country.
What we have here is the original circumcision knife that has been used throughout the centuries.
Mm-hmm.
And
You have a copy of the Haggadah.
okay.
It was created in Barcelona in the 13th century. We believe that it was created as a present gift. Haggadah in Hebrew means story, saga. And the reason why it is called the Sarajevo Haggadah, the Sarajevo story, is simple. This is the only book that you will find in this format in the entire globe. And it was in the 19th century, it was sold by one old Jewish Sarajevo family called Cohen to the National Museum. and since 19th century it belongs to the National Museum. Before 20th century, in Bosnian Jewish community, it was a tradition to have Haggadahs, to have family books that would be read during the Pesach and every important holiday, so that families could gather. Yeah, so that families could gather around.
Now here we have the Torah guard.
Mm-hmm. Made in silver.
Of course.
The oldest one.
And then over here we have a few more artifacts. The ritual knife used for the preparation of kosher food.
Mm-hmm.
And now we'll just go upstairs and take a quick look through the museum.
You have cemetery, the second largest in Europe.
You're going upstairs.
How many floors are there?
2.
Okay. So we're looking at a lot of the artifacts from back in the day. Here's from the second floor looking down to the synagogue. Right up to the third floor. Interestingly, I'll show you this. These were Jews, pre-war opponents of fascism. These were the prisons for the Jews. Maybe anybody that didn't fall in line. And here's a partial list of arrested Jews and political prisoners. Here's some pictures of the World War II concentration camps created in Bosnia. cemetery for prisoners of concentration camps. And again, World War II concentration camps. Dachau, Belsen, Starogazika, Jason Novik. And we have some of the famous Jews that took part in World War II. There were about 800 Jews from Bosnia and Herzegovina who took an active part in the National Liberation War, of whom 246 were killed. All national heroes. There's some more of the famous Jews that fought in the National Liberation. That wraps up our day trip of Sarajevo, and we brought you through the highlights of what we wanted to see, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you come to this city, we recommend about 4 to 6 hours, and you'll have definitely covered most of the highlights, and it's definitely worth a day or two here. So we hope you enjoyed it, and if you got any value out of this video, please press the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, go right ahead and do that.
See you next time.